Happy Friday, Millbrook. Or is it a happy Friday? You tell me. Millbrook, how are you today? In other words, how is it with your soul? This is a question that I've been reflecting on this Lenten season. It's a question that John Wesley famously asked in reflecting on how he truly is. How often do we go about our day-to-day lives, or even at church on Sunday, saying, "Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm good. I'm fine." But do we really feel that way? A couple weeks ago at church, I started the day at the 8:30 service, and one of our faithful 8:30 attendants asked me, "Pastor Grayson, are all things good in your life?" And I simply said no. Not all things were good in my life on that particular Sunday. And I felt it, and I didn't feel the need to lie or to cover it up. The way I see it is, if I'm a pastor asking you to bring your whole self to worship, in turn, I expect to bring my whole self to worship, right? Church is a place where we come to be vulnerable, to be real about how we're doing. We're not always on a mountaintop, and sometimes we're somewhere in the valley or in between, right? So I want to ask you, how is it with your soul? How are you doing really? Lent is a wonderful time where we as a church come together to acknowledge the ways our world is broken, to acknowledge the ways that we are fragile, the ways we are vulnerable, the ways we are tempted. Lent is the perfect season to do that type of self-reflection. How is my soul? How is my spiritual well-being? And to take those things not only to God in prayer, but to put action to the things that we know can help, and to share those things with others. So this week, friends, I encourage you, spend time prayerfully reflecting on how it is with your soul. How can you live into that genuinely and authentically by carrying those things to God and by keeping it real every time you come to church, keeping it real with each other and keeping it real with Christ? That is one of our tasks this Lent. So I encourage you, have a happy Friday or not.